In 1571, the Yucatan public became sick to the plague. One man found a plant and alongside others, drank it. The substance turned individuals blue and made them unequipped for breathing in air. They immediately moved to the sea and made a development in the profound water, Talokan. One of the ones who ingested the plant had a child named Kuk. The child developed up to become leader of Talokan. At the point when Fen passed on, she requested to be covered on the land. Kuk drove a few watchmen up to the land, where he saw progress. They went after the development to make space for his mom's entombment. One of the townspeople referred to him as Namor, signifying the kid without adoration. Shuri works in her lab, making a solid attempt to make a fake, heart-molded spice to use for her sibling and Wakanda's best, T'Challa, who is passing on from a disease. Ramonda gradually strolls into the lab, reporting the Lord's passing. After a year, Wakanda is experiencing difficulty, with different countries needing their vibranium. The Dora Milaje get French military men attempting to take from their station. Afterward, Ramonda converses with the assembled countries and uncovers the French's endeavor to take. She reminds the nations that despite the fact that the Dark Puma is gone, they will in any case battle. At a mining station, Americans mine in the sea utilizing a vibranium locator that was made by a MIT understudy, Riri Williams. They utilize this to find vibranium in the sea. Out of nowhere, they go under assault by Talakanians who don't need them taking their vibranium. The final helicopter of survivors is struck somewhere near Namor. In Wakanda, Ramonda and Shuri go to the water and grieve the year since T'Challa's passing. They consume their memorial service articles of clothing to mean the finish of the grieving time frame, regardless of Shuri not being totally prepared for this. Namor then, at that point, shows up, getting past the boundary by going under the water. He uncovers to them the presence of Talokan and believes their assistance should stop outsiders from taking vibranium. He likewise makes sense of that Wakanda isn't the main spot that has vibranium, Talokan has it as well. Ramonda reprimands him, stressed of his presence. He lets them know he will kill the researcher who created the machine and that they can help him, however they can't hold him up. Shuri and Okoye go to meet Everett Ross, who gives them the name and area of the youthful researcher, regardless of conceivably offering private data. Okoye and Shuri then, at that point, go to Cambridge, Massachusetts to track down Williams. They follow her to her carport where she uncovers that she is chipping away at an Iron Man-type covering. Nonetheless, they are trailed by the FBI. The three move away, Okoye in a vehicle, Shuri in a bike, and Williams in her reinforcement. Out of nowhere, they are met by Talakanians, Atuma, and Namora. A concise encounter closes in Shuri and Williams getting caught. Ross shows up at the scene the following day and meets with his ex, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. He additionally tracks down Kimoyo, Dabs and conceals them. In Wakanda, a rankled sovereign Ramonda reproves Okoye for losing Shuri, which is exacerbated by past episodes, for example, when she apparently favored Killmonger, when he usurped the privileged position, and flames her from her situation as broad. Shuri and Williams awaken in Talokan. Namor shows Shuri the civilization, attempting to persuade her regarding his beliefs, in any event, giving her his mom's wristband. In any case, she differs in killing Williams. In the interim, Ramonda goes to Haiti to see Nakia, who had left Wakanda 6 years earlier. She requests that Nakia track down Shuri for her. Nakia does some spying, and sorts out the area. She then breaks Williams and Shuri out as Ramonda converses with Namor about his arrangement. They return to Wakanda, yet just for greater torture as Namor and his kin attack. They flood the city, causing a hard and fast conflict. Namor deals with all of the Wakandan vehicles prior to flooding the high position room holding Ramonda and Williams. Williams begins suffocating, so Ramonda swims to save her. She can get Williams to somewhere safe, however, just to suffocate all the while. Shuri grieves her mom's passing, as Namor tells her she is sovereign at this point. He and his kin then, at that point, leave the country. In the meantime, Allegra de Fontaine figures out that Ross has been imparting with Wakanda this entire time and has him captured. M'Baku converses with Shuri after the memorial service and gives her ethical judgment that she shouldn't kill Namor. He then tells her he will give lodging for the dislodged Wakandans following the assault. Shuri then utilizes Namor's mom's wristband to make the fake heart-formed spice which at long last works. She goes to the astral plane in the wake of taking it and is welcomed by Eric Killmonger, who claims they are something similar. They contend a peace before Shuri claims she will kill Namor out of retribution. Shuri awakens and makes herself a suit. She then, at that point, drops into a gathering among M'Baku and the seniors as the Dark Jaguar. In readiness of the fight, Shuri and Williams understand that they could debilitate Namor by warming his body up to where it can't get oxygen. They then make a second Ironheart defensive layer. Shuri gives Okoye new protection, acting similar as Iron Man's also, called the 12 p.m. Holy Messengers. Okoye initiates Annika to be separated of her two-lady group. In the sea, they utilize a vessel to draw the Talacanals into a snare. The fight initiates as Namor appears to acquire the upper hand. In any case, Dark Jaguar traps him in a regal claw contender as they remove off from the fight. In the interim, the Dora Milaje battle the Talacanals as an afterthought of the vessel while the Jabari clan, Nakia, and the others fight the ones on top. Ironheart and the 12 p.m. Holy Messengers deal with the airborne Talacanals. Dark Jaguar warms up the regal claw contender, debilitating Namor, yet he starts to break out with his lance. Up the regal claw contender, debilitating Namor, yet he starts to break out with his lance. Dark Jaguar shoots an impact from her vibranium gloves, which detonates the entire boat, sending the two enemies into the island beneath. The two battle some more until Namor spears Shuri. Nonetheless, rather than getting her off, he is more stressed over getting to the water before he kicks the bucket. A harmed Dark Puma breaks free and gets before the limping Namor. She then, at that point, shouts Wakanda for eternity as she protections up, sending an impact from the detonating claw contender into Namor. He is set burning as he implodes. She remains over him to polish him off, however recollects her sibling, T'Challa. With these recollections of the man he was, she chooses to save Namor's life the same length as he gets back to Talocan. Namor has appreciation for the Dark Jaguar and joins her as they return to the battle scene and advise everybody to quit battling. Once more Dark Puma then, at that point, shouts Wakanda for eternity as the rest rehash it back. In the consequence, Williams gets back to MIT without her defensive layer as the Wakandans need no discussion with letting her keep it. Shuri leaves for Haiti as opposed to trying for the lofty position, which at last is tested by M'Baku. Afterward, Namor paints in his room as Atuma welcomes him. Namor guarantees her that their new union with Wakanda will be gainful. While heading to jail, Okoye breaks Ross out of care. In Haiti, Shuri meets with Nakia prior to leaving for the ocean side where she consumes her burial service stately robe, permitting her to lament at last. In a mid-credits scene, Shuri discovers that Nakia and T'Challa have a child, Toussaint, who Nakia has been raising, in confidential a long way from the tension of the high position. Toussaint uncovers his Wakandan name as T'Challa. If you are not subscribed our channel, please subscribe, and click the bell icon. Thank you.
To watch more, subscribe.